New update. Op wonders if she's the off for pressing charges against her mill. I am not the op. The op is you, Bokbok BTCH, and the posts were taken from our AITAH. I previously posted this last month, but there have been 2 recent posts from the op that provide more information. Hence why I have made this second post. Trigger warning. Racism. Forced miscarriage. Gaslighting. Poisoning via drugs. Less than. Mood spoiler. Tragic. But justice is, or rather is due to be, served. Less than. Post 1. AITA for pressing charges against racist mill and leaving hubs for siding with her. Posted September 25, 2023. I'm Filipino and my husband is Chinese. His mom doesn't approve of me from the beginning and even told him that Filipinos are maids only. At the beginning my husband defended me. He even threatened to cut ties with her if she tries anything. So she backed off. He proposed and that's where trouble slowly started again. She was not happy. My sil told me that my mill didn't expect us to last too long, cause she expected my husband to come to his senses. She tried to jeopardize our wedding, threatened not to come, even told our guests that there was a typo in our invitation card and gave them the wrong date. Luckily they reconfirmed it with us. My husband actually waved it off and said that his mom is just scared for him and that I should understand because she grew up in a very traditional home. That should have been my first red flag. But I was too in love with him that I ignored it. I was 8 months pregnant a month ago. My husband insisted on going to Millhouse for a family reunion. I didn't want to cause of the human growing in me and too tired cause I was still working. He insisted cause his mom will not take no for an answer. So we went. Biggest regret. At the dinner, I started feeling weird and lightheaded. I told my husband about it but he waved me off. Told me to go up to his old room and lay down. I said this was different. And we should go to the hospital just in case. His mom butted in and told me not to ruin their dinner. Just shut up and go upstairs. I gave husband a look and said, "You really gonna let her talk to me like that?" Single quote. That dickhead just shrugged and told me to calm down. I did not go up. I knew something was wrong. I called my dad to get him to bring me to the hospital. I felt like I was floating. Body felt numb and I wanted to puke. I felt like fainting. Dad arrived and I left without letting them know. They didn't care, so why should I? I don't know how else to say this. My baby's heartbeat stopped. I was told the chances at this point of pregnancy was low. But it happened. I was drugged and also had alcohol in my system. But I didn't drink any since I was pregnant and I don't do drugs. Sil admitted she saw Mill added stuff into my drinks and food later on. My husband refused to believe that and sided with Mill, saying I must have taken something accidentally. Sil told him what Mill did but he still don't believe it. Sil always hated Mill. Hubs was the fav child. I reported it to the police. Sil is my witness. I pressed charges. I will not stop till she's behind bars. I told some of my closest friends about it. They said I'm in awe for divorcing him. But how can I be with someone who doesn't side with me on this? Who refused to believe his mom is the reason our baby is gone forever? He hasn't even acknowledged that she's gone. All he cares about is clearing his mom's name. I'm devastated. Aida? Why does some say I am? Op has also provided 2 small comments in her post. The first comment adds some more context. Update. I'm sorry I can't reply all, so I'll answer a few questions here. Some has asked why Sil didn't tell me that Mill added something to my food and drinks. She came to me after. She was crying saying she didn't realize at the time and only connect the dots after she found out what happened. She's only 17, and I believe she was really scared going against her mom. As for the toxicology report, there was high levels of fentanyl. opioids and alcohol. As for my friends who called me an aw, they are also close to my husband, and they said it was unfair because he also lost a child. I told them he didn't seem to care. They called me an aw. The second comment is a response to people questioning the specific details of the whole deal. I know I don't have to explain myself to you, but I want to. I won't explain more on the medical concerns because frankly I do not know anything about it. All I know is what happened to me. Whether you believe it or not is entirely up to you. As for my title, my post was banned due to violence on "Am I an asshole?" so I wrote it like this instead. I hope you understand that this is a very sensitive subject, and I did come here in search for some support and make myself feel better. It's a human feeling and I'm sorry if that made you think this is fake. Lastly, I may be a Filipina and he is a Chinese. But that doesn't automatically means we're living in the Philippines or China. I purposely did not disclose my country for privacy reasons. Because if I do, people like you will hunt the article down, which includes my identity along with my family's. I know I'm posting here for all to read, but what makes me feel safe is the animosity of it all. I feel safe cause people like you can't find out who I am. Which is not any different from majority of people on this app. Again, I know I don't owe you an explanation, but my life has been a living hell and I have no control with anything now. So being able to defend myself like this helps. I have nothing else to say. Have a nice day. Post 2. Update. AITA for pressing charges against racist Mill and leaving Hubs for siding with her. Posted September 26, 2023. This is not an update. I'm overwhelmed by all the support I've been getting. Thank you all. I won't lie, but the real reason I decided to post my story was because I did need validation. I wanted to be heard. And I wanted to be in control of something at least. But I did not decided to do this lightly. What happened to me was horrifying and I still can't believe it. Some people are saying I'm not showing enough emotions for this to be real. And that the title I wrote makes them think this is fake. That I should have said my Mill is a baby killer and my husband was an accomplice so I'm leaving him. I don't understand why I should wrote that for it to be believable. Also, when I previously wrote something similar to that title on another group, my post was banned and deleted for violence. Which I'm not surprised because what happened to me was violence in one of its cruelest forms. How am I supposed to sound? Some people can't understand that some emotions are too strong and too deep. And cannot be translated into words alone. I may not be kicking and screaming in my post, but I have been kicking and screaming since that night. I lost a child. How can someone make that up? Are people just so far up their own asses that they can't comprehend that bad stuff happens to people? And for those who says those stuff would have killed me, I should not even be alive. I did almost die. I am not gonna write out a detailed account of what happened that night just to appease you. It's not bad enough that my child died? I should have died too, then it would be believable? And you call me the sick FCK? And for all who is saying that my husband is part of it, I cannot comment on this. Frankly, I do not know yet at this point. I don't want to speculate that he is because that only makes it hurt more. I loved him. And thinking that he'd be capable to do this. Some ask why I didn't taste the alcohol. I didn't. If I knew, I would have stopped drinking. But the moment I felt off, I voiced it out. I was pregnant. Some food to me tasted different. I didn't think much of it at that point. I didn't think that my life would ever be in danger. I knew Mill hated me, but I did not know she would ever try something like this. And as for my friends who called me AH, they are also close to my husband. Until today, the both of them do not believe that my husband did anything wrong and that he is innocent and just caught in his mother's lies and that he lost a child too but is in denial. I don't know how to go about this, so I've decided to cut ties with them. But I do have other amazing friends who has been completely supportive and helping me throughout this. I will not touch anymore on Sil as she is a minor. Phil is not in the picture. I will try my best to update you all once this is all over. I'm sorry if my post offended anyone. Post 3. Final update. AITA for pressing charges against racist Mill and leaving Hubs for siding with her. Posted September 27, 2023. This will be my final post. Thank you all for your support. It truly means the world to me. I finally have some time to myself and thought I should give you this final update. It's been the most horrible and excruciating few weeks of my life, and it's finally almost over. Mill couldn't get away thanks to my Sil, and the evidence was also found in her house. She finally confessed after a month. She has received the death sentence this morning because what she did is not taken lightly in our country. Her son is claiming he has nothing to do with it and will receive no punishment since there is no proof. I truly don't know if he was involved or not, but I cannot be around him ever again. I have not spoken privately with him since that night, and now I only communicate with him through lawyers. Sil is currently living with a close relative. She is safe. I know some of you are concerned for her well-being. I am living with my parents again. I honestly couldn't have gotten through this without them. They are truly my rock. We're finalizing our divorce by this week. My family has advised me sue him for everything he and his family has put me through. This was a hate crime. I don't understand how can a grandmother do this just because my baby was a girl and not pure Chinese. I've heard stuff like this happens in China, but we're not living there. Why bring your close-minded ideologies and traditions here? Why did my baby had to pay the price for this? I don't know how people continue life after a loss of a child. Her funeral is next week. I named her Marie Elizabeth. Rip my love. Mama loves you and will see you soon. These are all of the previous posts from the op, which I have taken from my first BORU post here about this story. Post 4. Another update. AITA for pressing charges against racist Mill and leaving husband for siding with her. January 18, 2024. It's been a few months since I've posted. The murderer is still alive, and I cannot sleep at night. Things has been crazy and overwhelming the past few months. I thought things were over all those months ago, but apparently getting a divorce from the murderous woman's son took a lot longer than expected. There were so many delays, but now I finally truly have no more ties with that man. That hateful murderous woman is still alive but in jail. She was sentenced to death all those months ago, but I have no idea when it's gonna happen, and part of me do not want to know as well. My ex-husband, till this day, truly believes his mom is innocent despite his own sister being my witness. And still we cannot prove if he was in on it, so he continues to walk free. My life has just been a roller coaster ride, and I don't think I'm ever getting off. Losing a child is something I do not wish on anybody. I've been trying to live normally. I was thinking I may have depression, but I also seen people say that depressed people do not say that they're depressed, that they are more on suffer in silence type. I don't know. I just know that I'm not happy. Yes, I got a divorce, and yes, she's in jail and paying for what she did to me. But I'm not happy, and I don't think I'll ever be truly happy again. My ex tried to talk to me last week. The first time since the incident. He just showed up at my parents' house one day out of the blue. My mom was home and answered the door. My mom basically slammed the door in his face and didn't let him come near me. I'm grateful she did that, but I can't stop feeling like I need to know what she wanted to say to me. It's like I need a reason to scream at him. I haven't truly let out my feelings towards him. I want to scream and shout and throw a brick at his face. I have no closure. Should I talk to him? Just to get a sense of closure? I don't know what to expect. Part of me is telling me I need to stay away and forget everything. But another part of me wants to know if the death of our child meant anything to him or not. If he even loved her or not. If he truly is a monster. Or just really blinded. Final post. Final update. AITA for pressing charges against racist mill and leaving husband for siding with her. I'm gone after this. January 19, 2024. My ex-husband and I live in a Muslim country. With very strict rules. A lot of people don't believe my story. And frankly I don't care what they think. 'Cause this is my life. Not theirs. But some of their words just hurts. I just wanted to share my story. To feel like I am not alone in this. But so many are just bashing. I shouldn't be surprised. There are too many heartless keyboard warriors in this day and age. Just because things are a certain way in their country, doesn't mean the whole world is the same. Many are assuming that the timeline doesn't make sense to them. I cannot explain it to you any better. I'm telling you how it was. It's not my fault you're all assuming I'm lying because there was no time for trial, which takes months. Let me just point out, I never once said there was a trial. This is a very strict Muslim country that has zero tolerance for killing. If you cannot understand that, then there's nothing much else I can say. I never even once disclosed where I was living. And yet I see so many people assuming I'm living in Singapore or Philippines or China. I am not. It hurts reading a lot of your comments. Some even go as far as privately msging me horrible things. Calling me all kinds of names. Like I'm not even a person. But it wasn't all negative. There were so many that were very kind and gave me really good advice and kind words. I thank you all. That's all I have to say. This will be my last post. I will be leaving Reddit after this. Have a nice life, everyone. Florida's new update due to the last posts. But safe to say this chapter is over now. Reminder, I am not the op. I have no idea if this is true or not. But if it is, I feel so bad for this poor woman. The husband is a scumbag. I hope she is able to heal and have a good life. Why does the husband still refuse to believe after his mother confessed to poisoning his wife and killing his unborn daughter? WTF, dude? My family is from a Muslim country. My first thought when she said that was, if she's in one of certain Muslim countries, it's very fortunate her mill did the poisoning and not her husband. The still as witness would not have been enough to condemn a man. Maybe the evidence would help along with the witness statement. But you never know. Muslim country with ethnic Chinese and Filipinos? My money is on Indonesia. But it really doesn't matter. Oop has reportedly gone through something terrible and her ex-mil and ex-husband are terrible. Could be Malaysia. Lots of ethnic Chinese and don't mind using the death penalty. I kind of believe it. Wow. I was pretty skeptical of the story being true. Not gonna lie. But I am still in disbelief how this husband is so blind to what the mom did. I feel sick after reading this tbh. TW should be stillbirth. It is not a miscarriage anymore when she is 8 months pregnant. I don't know what to do. My mill got the death sentence in 2 days. That has to set some sort of BORU record. I've never understood caring so much about a random Reddit post that I would PM someone mean things. I honestly don't know what to think of this. Though it's pretty horrible to think about if real. To suffer through such denial from someone who's supposed to stand up for you. Makes you feel like you're in the wrong. I'm glad Oop has a good support system through her family and that Sil could testify against the mill. Man. My dad is Japanese and my mother is Mexican. So there's always been this vibe that one side is better than the other. Everyone gets along and is cordial, but you can just tell one side thinks they're better than the other. People say that depressed people do not say that they're depressed, that they are more on suffer in silence type. The fuck? I'm saddled with severe depression, and yeah, I may not walk around all the time telling everybody about, but I'm aware of it and do talk about it with those closest to me. Regardless of if this is real or not. That is such a horrible take, and why so many people, from all different cultures and walks of life, suffer from untreated mental illness. That just pissed me off. If this is real, my heart goes out to Oop. I can't imagine losing a child at 8 months and under such horrific circumstances. My God. I too want to know what her loser of an ex-husband had to say. But it's probably for the best that she never talked to him. I believe she's getting plenty of hate. I got some when I posted some supportive words to her. People suck. As for the toxicology report, there was high levels of fentanyl, opioids and alcohol. At the dinner, I started feeling weird and lightheaded. I felt like I was floating. Body felt numb and I wanted to puke. I felt like fainting. I have trouble believing someone who had been poisoned with fentanyl, in an unmeasured dose especially, would describe the experience this way or would be cognizant enough to arrange for transport and leave under their own power. People accidentally overdose on fentanyl all the time, even when they are making an attempt to control dosage. Oop is definitely an OFW. I have aunts that also worked in predominantly Muslim countries earlier in their careers. And OFWs tend to flock to the same countries depending on their careers. So much US defaultism all over the comments in these posts. It's like some people can't wrap their brains around the idea that not every country operates the same as theirs. And in some countries, justice really is swift and extreme. Tons of suspects plead guilty and get convicted within a couple of weeks. It just depends on the docket schedule. I am so ridiculously glad the OOP decided to update. The last update I saw on this was the third one. And based on that ending, I truly believed that they were planning on killing themselves. I'm glad to know they're still alive. Timeline is quite short. Not impossibly short depending on location, but still getting side-eye from me. Poor woman. To have almost completed a pregnancy. To look forward to having your baby girl. To losing everything. Of course she's depressed.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.